Yo, man, Adobe Audition. Delete all my shit. I gotta do this all over again. God damn it. Oh my god. I'm fucking done with this. Killed the last take, bro. Now it's like, oh no, it's like Adobe Audition struggling. Fuck your struggles, man. You're a fucking computer. I'm real life. I'm struggling in real life. How do you think that feels, bitch? A few weeks ago, Bill Belichick said that Cam Newton was the Patriots starter. Now, Newton doesn't even have a roster spot after New England decided to release the veteran, handing the reins over to rookie Mac Jones. The Patriots just haven't been the same since Tom Brady left. But don't worry, they're back. First, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, smack that like button so YouTube actually pushes out this video. For the first time since Drew Bledsoe in 1993, New England decided to take a quarterback in the first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. Mac Jones had an uphill battle in a quarterback competition against returning starter Cam Newton, but he managed to come out on top after a stellar offseason. Jones finished the preseason with nearly 400 yards and a touchdown without throwing an interception while playing the vast majority of the Patriots' offensive snaps. Meanwhile, Newton didn't play as much in the preseason, but did start every game, tossing about 150 yards with a touchdown and interception. Belichick had made it clear that Newton was the starter for a while now. So, how did he end up not only losing the job, but getting cut? Mac Jones being named the starter isn't really that crazy. He's shown flashes, and New England clearly had faith in him becoming the future if they used a first-round pick on him. The real question is, why they felt the need to release Cam Newton. A lot of people are going to point at the money, but I don't think that's the case. Cam Newton has a very outgoing personality, and I don't think Newton is a guy that wants to be a backup in any regard. The bigger reason is that you don't want your rookie quarterback constantly having to look over his shoulder. Last season, Tua Tagovailoa had Ryan Fitzpatrick on his back at all times, and the constant worry of being replaced or the media rumble likely had an effect on him. One of the biggest reasons Newton ended up getting cut was something that really wasn't even his fault. He had a weird COVID-19 misunderstanding, and because of it, missed 3 practices. That gave Jones some time to shine, and ultimately he did, winning the starting gig. Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer already admitted that vaccination status played a role in who the team decided to cut, but I don't necessarily think that's the case for the Patriots, as Coach Bill Belichick came out saying that wasn't a factor in releasing Newton. However, for Newton, it comes down to a big problem, and that was his lack of availability. The money did still matter in the grand scheme of things, though. Newton was set to make $3.5 million guaranteed and about $5.1 million if he were to just stay on the roster as a healthy backup. The decision to cut Newton is probably the right one, unfortunately. In fact, cutting Newton and allowing him to get a fresh start and potentially go somewhere where he can actually start may be a bit of a thank you from Belichick and company. Even Newton knew that Jones was the future. It was just a matter of when it was his time to take over. No hard feelings. Going into the 2021 NFL Draft, it was believed that Jones could end up being a guy who was the most pro-ready of the group, but had a lower ceiling overall. He has experience playing in huge moments with some great players at Alabama. He can understand the playbook and knows how to run an offense, but the pure physical talent compared to his rookie counterparts isn't necessarily the same. Tom Brady made his living in the NFL on finding the open receiver and making the correct read. If that same offensive system is put in place for Jones, he should absolutely have the ability to succeed. At Alabama, Jones did a good job of not holding onto the ball for too long and had some great accuracy along with great footwork. He definitely has plenty of upside. He has a solid arm, can consistently be good, but not elite, and basically doesn't have a ton of room to grow and become a better passer. Those were all big concerns going into the pros, but the good news is that Jones landed in probably the best spot possible in New England. Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick tailed what looked to be a whole new system that was created around Cam Newton using his feet. Those two know how to get the most out of their quarterback, like they did with Tom Brady for so long. Nick Saban did a good job by using Mac Jones to run the offense, not necessarily making him have to be elite or having to make crazy plays for it to run efficiently. He completed over 77% of his passes for 4,500 yards and over 40 touchdowns, proving that he was the right choice for the Crimson Tide. Although, it did help that he got some reps in 2019 when Tua Tagovailoa went down due to injury. But there's never been a doubt that Jones was a talented player. He's a leader, and ultimately, a winner. Alabama didn't see a drop-off when Tua left for the draft, instead emerging as the best team in college football with Mac Jones at the helm alongside elite offensive weapons Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, and Najee Harris. The Crimson Tide went on to finish the season undefeated and collected a national championship. The Patriots' current quarterback situation is a bit odd. Jarrett Stidham is on the physically unable to perform list, so he won't be available to start the year. Newton was expected to be the backup if Jones got the job, but he was obviously cut. Therefore, Brian Hoyer was the presumed backup. That was until he was also cut. So, yeah. Mac Jones is the only current quarterback for New England's roster. Not really sure what the plan is there, but Belichick rarely makes mistakes, so I'm just gonna put my trust in the process. So first and foremost, I want to start this out by saying I think it was a pretty clear consensus by both the fan base and analysts alike that Mac Jones was supposed to be the starter. Now, yeah, on paper, Cam Newton was the starter, but I think that Cam fell in the shadows a couple weeks ago, and everybody has been talking about Mac Jones as the starter for at least the past week at this point. I do believe that Cam Newton deserves a shot somewhere else, whether it's at the backup position or even given a chance to compete for a starting position, but like I said earlier, I think Bill Belichick cutting ties with him was just kind of him saying, like, you go and like try to find an opportunity somewhere else, and I do believe that Cam had some input on that situation. But as for Mac Jones, the mac and cheese, Mac attack, I think that he's extremely promising, and I am so extremely excited to watch him play. Now, he is young and has plenty of work to do, so I think that we need to kind of taper our expectations on him. Already comparing him to Tom Brady is probably the dumbest, most ill-advised thing that I've ever seen with a rookie quarterback. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of his praise was warranted, as he was probably the best, if not one of the best rookie quarterbacks in the preseason. He played amazing, and he showed that he had the ability to run that Josh McDaniels offense and that he could fit pretty seamlessly into that scheme. A new rookie quarterback starting behind center in New England makes me extremely excited to watch football again as a Patriots fan. As you guys know, last year we struggled. We went 7-9 and missed out on the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that some organizations would absolutely love to have that record, like the Detroit Lions. Okay, but I'm getting off track. But yeah, we struggled last year, and a lot of Patriots fans didn't take lightly to that. And, seeing Mac Jones come in and have some success in the preseason, although it's just the preseason, makes everyone excited and shows that he has a lot of promise. Now, what I'm super excited to see is him go out there with the starters, especially that starting offensive line, which I believe is ranked in the top 5 of the league this year. So I believe he's going to play really well behind the starters, especially with those starting weapons like the new tight ends and new weapons that we went out and, acquired in the offseason. But with that being said, I don't think that this next year New England offense is going to have to rely on Mac Jones to do a lot physically, as I think they're going to be a run-heavy offense, especially with that pretty solid backfield and Damian Harris, Andre Stevenson, and JJ Taylor. I think we're going to have a great running offense, which is going to give Mac Jones a little bit of a cushion to kind of improve his game, study defensive schemes, and just kind of mold into the quarterback that New England needs him to be. Now, I would be lying if I said I wasn't kind of disappointed to find out that the Patriots released Cam Newton. I, for one, was extremely excited to watch him come back and play, especially, like I said, we added all of these weapons. After last year, he basically played with a skeleton of a roster. A bunch of the defense opted out, and not only that, the weapons that he had on offense were pretty subpar. Your offensive weapons are subpar, especially when your top wide receivers are Jacoby Myers and Damiere Byrd. So I was pretty disappointed watching him go. I wanted to see how he would play with this revamped offensive scheme that the Patriots are building. He just didn't want to be a backup, and I don't blame him in that. He wanted somewhere that he could go and compete, and clearly that just wasn't New England. But going with Mac signifies a big step for the New England organization, and that's just the start of a new era. This move is either going to make or break the Patriots organization, because this is the first time that they have a rookie quarterback stepping in since 1993 in Drew Bledsoe. So if Mac Jones doesn't come out and play exceptional, I'm sure the Patriots fan base is going to have a ball on Twitter just clowning this man for not living up to expectations. But with that being said, I think our expectations should be tapered a little bit just because this kid is 22 years old. He just got out of college. This is his first year in the NFL, and you're already comparing him to Tom Brady before he plays a regular season game. I think it's a little ridiculous. Like, yeah, they have similarities in play style, but Tom Brady is a proven winner and has 6 Super Bowls under his belt, and Mac Jones hasn't even played. So stop comparing them. For me, I want Mac Jones's play to do the talking. I don't care about where he went to school, what he did in college, what he did in the preseason. I don't care. I want to see how well he comes out and plays against starters in the league, because it's a whole new ball game once he gets out there in week 1. And if he can succeed, then Bill Belichick's reputation is upheld. But if he fails, this is going to be a rough year for the New England Patriots, and especially Patriots fans. The Patriots fan base is already toxic as it is, as you probably saw last year with Cam Newton throwing some interceptions and the fan base absolutely roasting the man. So the last thing I think Mac Jones needs, especially while he's building his confidence in this league, is to throw 1 or 2 interceptions early in the season and get absolutely flamed online by the fan base. So with that being said, I do believe that our expectations need to be realistic, and we need to understand that he's a rookie and that all rookies go through growing pains. And if we can recognize that and accept that, then I think we're going to have a pretty good time watching this guy ball out. If the Patriots just give him some time to develop a little bit more, he will fit perfectly into this scheme, especially because he's exactly what New England needed and kind of like a Tom Brady prototype quarterback. He's not going to go out there and rush for hundreds of yards a game, but the man has great field vision and a high football IQ, and he has a great arm. Not like Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers' arm, but it's pretty damn good. And I think it's a little better than people were giving him credit for, especially after watching some of his passes in the preseason. With only a little bit more time until Mac Jones suits up for week 1, all we can really do at this point is speculate. But I, for one, am so excited to watch this man ball out. The Patriots are in a new era without Tom Brady, and a lot of people thought that Cam Newton could continue the New England legacy, but that just wasn't the case. Now, it's time for rookie Mac Jones to step into one of the biggest roles in the league, the quarterback of the New England Patriots. And I, for one, can't wait to see how he performs. Hey, thanks for sticking to the end of the video. If you want to subscribe to the channel, click right here. And if you don't, or you already do because you're freaking amazing, then click right here to watch another video. Also, if you want to see more J&D, then go ahead and follow our TikTok for some cringy TikToks. Follow our Instagram because we do some random stuff on there. And if you're lucky, we'll have some nonsense Twitter rants as well. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and thank you so much for 100K. We'll address that in another video, but for now, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Yo, so I want to show you guys something. Check this shit out. It's like a fucking like figurine for like Star Wars. Check it out. And I got another one. We got this right here. Look at this shit. It's fucking sick. It's heavy too. It's not light. And also, it's usually in the background, but what the fuck? I got protein bars in the background. This whole time I had protein bars. I know it's usually in the background, but I don't know if you guys see this. I got a fucking lightsaber, yo. And it like makes sounds and shit. Like, look at this. It's fun. Wait. Oh, it's cool. I don't care what anybody says. You can call me whatever you want. This shit was cool. And it's cool because it was expensive as fuck. So, yeah. Cool.